Good afternoon. This is Noah from Multimedia Journalism and Broadcasting, or as we've known to call it now, the Eagle's Nest, introducing our first broadcast. We've started recording weeks ago, and what you're about to see is what we've accomplished in the interim. This production is a medley of different stories and different people reporting the news to you. We hope you enjoy.
For the first part of the broadcast, we sent Noah out into the school to talk about the solar eclipse.
So, your name?
I'm Dion.
Alright, Mr. Dion. I'd like to ask you a couple questions about the eclipse, if that's alright with you.
It's fine.
Alright, so my first question is, did you see the eclipse?
Yeah, I did.
Alright. What were your expectations for the eclipse? Did you think it was going to be great?
I expected it to be a little bit darker than it was.
Alright. Did you believe that it was overrated?
No.
Alright. So where did you view the eclipse from? Were you at school, at home? Did you travel?
I was here at school.
How did they handle that at the school? Because I know they let people out at 1:30.
Well, they pretty much held us in the commons until it was time for us to actually go outside and look.
Were you excited to see it?
Yeah,
How long did it last? Or how long do you think it lasted?
a couple minutes.
Did you have any superstitions about the eclipse?
No.
Alright. Were you one of the people that took off the glasses and looked at it?
No.
Alright. How would you have felt if the school didn't let you go and see the eclipse?
I probably would have mad.
Well, what was it like in the commons? Because I know that they had a bunch of students in there.
It was quiet and boring.
Alright, well that's all my questions for you today, Mr. Dion. Thank you for being on the news. We'd like to ask you a couple questions about the eclipse.
Excellent.
Alright, so in your opinion, was the eclipse that exciting?
Yes,
Alright,
it was very exciting.
so you don't believe that it was overhyped at all?
It's totally overhyped, but that's not a bad thing.
Do you believe that the sun can really blind you during the eclipse?
Yeah.
Do you think it's more dangerous during the eclipse?
Only because people feel tempted to look at the sun. Maybe they don't realize how damaging it can be.
Where did you go to look at the eclipse? Were you at school? Did you travel?
I traveled down to Tugelo State Park in Georgia.
So in Georgia, were you able to see a total eclipse?
Oh yeah, yep, totally was.
What was the total eclipse like? Because I know that here in Asheboro, we didn't get to see a total one.
It's hard. Words don't really describe it, but the one thing I can say is that it was incredibly, like the clarity that I saw when the solar disk and the lunar disk kind of came over each other, and you saw the corona around the sun. You really can't pictures don't do it justice. It was incredible.
So when do you think that the next eclipse is going to be?
Well, the next one will be next year. There's one every year, but the next one in the United States will be in April of 2024.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much money did you spend to go and see the eclipse?
Let's see, my campsite, I've got 2 nights there, so it's about $70. Spent about $100 in gas, give or take. That's really the raw expense, and then you start adding in the cameras and the food and that kind of stuff. It ends up being really expensive, but I'd say maybe $200.
But it was worth it, right?
Easy.
Alright, so one last question, because you're a faculty member. I'm really interested to know, do you think that students should be allowed to miss school to see the eclipse?
That's a good question, but I think the question should be, is school, are we really missing school for the eclipse? Mm-hmm. I think it's a scholarly thing to experience.
Do you think that they should have had proper gear at the school so that we could have seen it in the school day?
Well, yes, but we can make things like pinhole viewers and things like that, which I think were widely available.
So we could have made it so that it was a more hands-on thing as well with the school.
I think it would have been a good idea, yeah. As a photography teacher, that was something that I implemented for all my
Take
classes.
some time away from the Eagle's Nest to check out the election speech. First, let's listen to Mackenzie Koenig.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Koenig, and I'm running for secretary. I've been in SGA for 3 years, and I'd love to be secretary for my last year. By the way, I take great notes. Thank you.
Now, let's start off with a short and simple speech from Mike Edwards, who is running for president.
My name is Mike Edwards, and I want to be your president. If you vote for me, I will hear your voices and will present your ideas to the student government. I will push for the events and ideas that you want to see happen this year in our school, and together we can have a great year. Thank you.
You've seen his posters, you've seen his stickers, and now a speech from presidential candidate Adam Garrison.
Hey guys, my name's Adam Garrison and I'm the first candidate running for president today. I'm a senior this year at UCA and you might have seen some of my stuff, like my kind of dumb posters and my stickers that are kind of all around the place. And if you were here today, you've seen the big rivalry between me and Michael Edwards. But anyway, I'm gonna try and make this short and not keep you guys longer than I have to. Essentially, I'm really excited about this year. I've already organized and led a retreat for the student government where we planned one activity for each month. Some of these events included the stargazing night, the homecoming dance, the talent show, tailgating at home games, and a pajama day for the day when we get back from winter break. As a team, we assigned leaders for each event, and we've already started planning events for September, October, and after that. If I'm elected, I can more effectively oversee and lead these events, hopefully making UCA a more interesting and lively place. But in the end, it's you guys who get to choose. If you want a consistent public servant who wants to make this school a better place, consider voting for Adam Garrison.
Next in election, we have Grant Elmore. Grant is running for president.
Hi, I'm Grant Elmore, and I'm running for president as well. I'm new to this whole SGA, so hopefully I'll bring lots of new ideas. Also, if this is the first time you've heard of me, it's the first time I've heard of me too, because I only have one poster up, and it's in between the social studies and the English hall if you want to go find it. Thanks for your vote.
Next in the election, we have Caroline Trotter, who's running for treasurer.
Hi, my name's Caroline Trotter, and I am running for student government treasurer. First off, a lot of you might not even know what a treasurer exactly does. A treasurer is basically the person in charge of the money. So you guys might want to pay attention to this because we all know about your money and we all know that you love your money. Let me tell you guys why you should vote for me. You guys should vote for me because I'm the better candidate. I'll bring innovative ideas to the table and try to make everything more efficient. I promise you that you will gain a trustworthy leader. Thank you.
Hey y'all, my name is Sarah Garner, and for this part of the broadcast, we went and interviewed Miss Catherwood about her live sale.
We're flying at the Eagle Nest today for a second for an exclusive treat. Miss Catherwood is holding what is called the live sell event. What in tarnation is the live sell event, you may ask? Well, to put it in the simplest of terms, the live sell event is when they show us what the inside of the cell is like and how it behaves. Now, let's head inside and see what the fuss is all about.
Classes like the extra energy it takes energy from the sunlight to create sugars that go into cells to create ATP and then NADPH. I don't know if you know that, but it's a fancy little terminology we use. And it helps create a little green filament, which creates this green color on every plant that you know, and it helps keep it going and everything, extra energy for the mitochondria to make. So also for mutations, chloroplast has a mutation from a fungus called Neosporin. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but it's a slow-growing mutant, and it's like one of the first mutant for chloroplast to have, and it like slowly degenerates to green pigment. So that's how you know when it has fungus. You know how it's when plants have fungus, it turns like a white color. That's from the fungus mutant, that gene that does that. It deteriorates the plant cell, so it can't have that green color from the chloroplast cell. So if you go around, everybody has a different. Yeah, you go in, you'll just.
Okay, guys, you ready? Yeah. All righty, I'm setting them in. All right, go learn something. Is this your class? Whose class is this?
This Smith, I think. Yeah.
Transport proteins.
I'm called the rough endoplasmic reticulum because my outer membrane is studded with ribosomes, which help create proteins. I'm the same as him. We're twins. We are. We come from the same cell.
I'm a mitochondria. I produce APT, which is energy for the rest of the cell and body to produce. Remember that I make proteins. What do you call it?
We're the same. I'm also I make proteins as well.
I'm inside of 2 days a week. I work in I help organize cell parts and like give it structure. I'm the DNA. I'm the coding for the entire cell. And yeah, that's about all I do. I'm inside of everyone, technically. So.
We're located next to the Golgi
I am the centrioles, and I determine where this goes.
and we're called the rough endoplasmic reticulum.
And I write cells apart from cell division.
We're the best.
Alright, the nucleus, so I'm found in like eukaryotic cells, alright, and I contain genetic material, which is in everybody's DNA, alright, and I control the activities of the cell, like what goes on in the cell, and I also contain like proteins and stuff for your body, you know, all that good stuff, and if I don't work, then nothing else works, alright, so everything's just gonna like fail, so if I'm not, alright, yeah.
Hello, people. My name is Tyler. I do a podcast every Thursday called Tyler's Tech, and it's pretty much the evolution of technology. And I maybe throw in some American Horror Stories if that comes on every Tuesday night. So make sure you tune in Thursday to listen, and that's pretty much my podcast news.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo, what's up, guys? This is Noah soaring in from the Eagle Eye. We're currently away from the Eagle Nest for a chance to talk to one of the local guitarists at the school here named Zeke. So Zeke, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Obviously I like to play guitar, so that's one of the main aspects of my personality. I'm very fond of making music. I take time to do just artistic stuff like painting, drawing, play a lot of video games. So,
What kind of games do you play?
old stuff like Doom.
Sweet. Alright, so I have a couple questions I'd really like to hammer down with you, if that's alright, because I know a lot of the student body is just itching to know a little bit more about you after that one day at the cafeteria.
Okay.
So, how long have you been playing the guitar?
About 3 years. I really got started on my second year of guitar. The first year was just kind of slow, trying to figure out how I'm going to go about this. And then I kind of got more into it as I learned more. And I started out playing just like songs and stuff, but then eventually started writing my own stuff.
What kind of songs do you play on the guitar?
Mostly classic rock, blues, some 60s stuff. There's quite a variety to it.
Alright. So, what inspired you to start?
I think once I actually got the inspiration to pick up my acoustic guitar again and start learning was that I was starting to get into more guitar-based music, like Jimi Hendrix, classic rock, stuff like that. And I thought to myself, these guys are amazing, so I want to try and have something to call my own with that.
What kind of guitar do you prefer to play, acoustic or electric?
Electric. I learned to, as soon as I really started playing guitar, I really didn't pick up my acoustic that much. I played my electric, so.
Who's your favorite guitarist?
Jimi Hendrix.
What makes Jimi Hendrix such a great guitarist, though?
He modernized the electric guitar. Before artists like Jimi Hendrix, the electric guitar was basically just used to amplify acoustic guitar songs. You would write a song on acoustic guitar, and then if you were to perform it, you would play it on an electric.
All right, this is kind of one about the school and not necessarily you, but how do you feel about the differing opinions of student faculty members between the middle and high schools on your guitar playing?
There's actually not too big a difference. There's a few people that just don't like it, and there's a few people that like really cheer me on with the guitar. So,
do you know any teachers that actually do, encourage you to do it?
Mr. Fortune.
Does Mr. Fortune play the guitar?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What are the creative differences between the middle and high schools when it comes to music?
In the middle school, there was a very, very select few who actually appreciate the guitar as an instrument. A lot of people just see it as noise unless it's an artist that they like. But at the high school, a lot of people just enjoy hearing somebody pick up a guitar and play it, even if it's just somebody playing an acoustic inside of or in the middle of class change.
So you're welcomed a lot more here.
Yeah.
Okay, do you feel that you have more creative freedom here?
Yeah.
How do you think student musicians are treated at UCA High School by students and staff?
That really depends. Some students are really cheered on by their friends and everybody. When I picked up the electric guitar at lunch, a lot of people cheered me on. I got a bunch of people clapping for me, so that felt really good. I felt really good about myself and my guitar playing. But some students, people seem to tear them down and not realize how much effort it takes to pick up that guitar and start playing.
So, playing guitar, what are the hardest things about playing it?
The hardest thing I think about playing guitar is not really something physically with the guitar, because once you start learning stuff and practicing it on the guitar, it's not that difficult. But getting up in front of people and playing when people, like, if a bunch of people want you to play, but there's just like a select few who think that you just absolutely are terrible on the guitar, then it really just feels bad, and it's hard to get up and play. And then when you go home, it feels the same way.
Have you ever taught anyone how to play the guitar before?
I have not taught somebody fully how to play the guitar, but I have taught a few people tips and tricks.
What kind of tips and tricks would you give to someone who's wanting to start off playing guitar at UCA?
I would say learn chords first. If you learn chords first, then you can start learning scales. And once you learn scales that kind of fit with the type of music that you want to play, then start learning your favorite songs on guitar. And then you'll have a lot less trouble learning them once you know the scales, because you've got a general idea of how the notes go in that particular scale. So, and the chords will help you, because if you can just look at a web page with the chords to a song on it and just read them off, then that's a skill that's really useful.
All right, would you mind playing a song for us before we go?
Sure.
All right. Cut back in the Eagle Nest.